Happy first Tuesday of 2022. How are you feeling on this Tuesday? I'm so excited for this Live for 5. We have Sue. She's going to share with us about vision. So a quick tip for staying strong for 2022 in the next 90 days. Sue, do you have any tips on how we can stay strong in the first 90 days of 2022?
Absolutely. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be doing this. I just absolutely love this time of year because there is just so much energy. I don't know if you we all usually feel in January, and everybody is like posting about, it's a new page, it's a brand new book, brand new chapter. Like, let's not even think about last year. We're just going forward. So I love the energy that we get from that. It's just so awesome. So the question is, how do we keep that energy going? How do we just keep going? And it also, for a lot of people, it starts with your goals, right? A lot of people start New Year's with their goals. And so the idea is to have a really clear idea of what your goals are, what your vision is for your life. And so if you can get really, really clear and really understand and really, really want what you're thinking about, that's awesome. And then what usually happens, we know what usually happens, right? What happens is we usually get into the year, and as we start into these things, we hear about what everybody else is doing, because everybody's doing something, right? Like, there's like a lot of challenges out right now. I don't know if you're seeing them, but I'm seeing them everywhere. A lot of people are talking about what they want to change, and which is awesome. But then sometimes that can feel so overwhelming. And what happens when we feel overwhelmed? We lose energy, we get distracted, we get discouraged. So we have all these things going on. So my one tip that I want to give you today is that just do one small thing. Because what happens is our brain, when we get into this overwhelm, our brain is telling us that, we want to be comfortable. We want to stay with what we know. As we start doing these little changes, your brain is just like saying, no, stop, and then we get that discouragement, we get that, and when we start focusing on what's not happening instead of what is happening, we focus on, what, like all the things that we're not, we're not drinking enough. Well, we've already, you start, maybe your goal is to be healthier. And sometimes we say, okay, I'm going to drink water. I'm going to exercise every day. We have these awesome, awesome plans, but then our brain's like, see, you failed again. So when you start feeling those feelings, stop, pause, just do one small thing. Whatever your goal is, whether it's with relationships, whether it's with health, whether it's with organization, whether it's with your spiritual life, whatever it is, just stop, do one small thing. Maybe at that moment, you can just, you can, if your goal is health, you can go and have a drink of water. You can spend, you can drop and spend like 30 seconds and do some planking. You can do some push-ups. Maybe you only do 5 push-ups, but you're doing something. What you're doing is actually giving your brain the evidence it needs to say, hey, you're doing something different. The more you build that evidence with small things, the more your brain's going to be more comfortable, and you're not going to get the pushback that your brain is feeling, that hey, this is uncomfortable. Let's be uncomfortable. Choose to take that moment to stop, be uncomfortable, and do something. Maybe if your goal is organizational, like you want to organize your home, for example, pick one drawer, pick your countertop, get it clean. Just do one small thing. Maybe you want to clean out your one part of your pantry. Maybe you just want to do something like if it's bedtime, you don't want to necessarily get into something big. And so, how many times do we go to bed and we're like, you start thinking about all the things you haven't done? Well, just go and do one small thing. Go to bed doing that, knowing that you've done that one small thing. Maybe it's you're going to just do you're going to write out the meal planning. Maybe you're just standing around and you can cut up vegetables and have them prepped for the next day. So you can set yourself up for success, and your brain is right there with you because it's like, oh, there's evidence that I'm actually moving towards my goal. And that is the whole thing, is just starting that little thing that creates the momentum that gets you going and keeps you going. So don't look to the past, look to the future, look to that one moment, because we can do it one moment at a time. And the clearer our vision is up for what we want, the more we will understand that it is those small things that are going to add up. So yeah, that would be my one tip for today.
That is so powerful. Like to keep building on the evidence that you have, doing small steps and then building that evidence and building up that consistency, and then being excited in the uncomfortable feeling and the new uncomfortable, being excited about the new feeling.
Yeah.
I love that.
Even more than that, when you start getting that uncomfortable feeling, because the more you practice this, the more you feel that uncomfortable feeling, your brain's going to say, oh, I know what I need to do. All that uncomfortable feeling, if you embrace that uncomfortable feeling, you're just going to say, oh, that uncomfortable feeling just means I need to do something different. It can be that point that stops you, that just makes you turn around and say, oh, I can go do one small thing and then I'm headed back in the right direction. So you can use that uncomfortable feeling actually as a tool.
As a tool to set yourself up for success. That is so powerful. Thank you so much, Sue. And we'll see you next week for more on Vision with Sue.